What's happening, ladies and germs? This is the PackerMan, and welcome back to Green and Gold Games and my Let's Play of the Outer Worlds. We are currently on board the Groundbreaker. It's like a pretty big ship. Let's go take a look around.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a drink.
Well then.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
I noticed you were in the middle of an argument earlier.
Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
I'd like to hear your side. What happened?
I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
And that's when you resolved your differences like an adult, right?
That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
Got any plans?
Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
That's me, Captain of the Unreliable.
Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
I never caught your name. I'm PackerMan.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
See you around, Felix.
See you around, boss. Going for a stroll around the docking base? Going for a stroll around the docking base?
It's always fucking freezing in there.
Huh?
Alright, let's head inside.
Wish they'd let us off station. Air up here is just recycled spacer farts.
Okay, that was funny. I've never heard that one before. Recycled spacer farts.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Grenade launcher. How's that called? That grenade launcher's tempting.
Identification, please.
Here you go.
Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
How do I get this resolved?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Any idea why my ship was impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
Great. I'll go talk to him and straighten this out.
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
Sure.
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Got it.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
I'm looking for a drink. Any recommendations?
Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right.
Got it.
You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony.
Can I find a job around here?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
I'm looking for something a little more local.
Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Jun Lei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Got it. Thanks.
Happy to help. That's my job, after all.
You're real good at it, too.
Well, thank you, miss. It's nice to be recognized. Yep.
Can we move this along? I have a certain, matter I'd like to attend to, Captain.
How does Halcyon Holdings work anyway?
Are you pulling my leg?
I'm new around here.
You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board.
The board runs most of the system, don't they?
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
How does Groundbreaker fit into that?
Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
So there's actually a boardroom somewhere with all these company heads in it?
Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself.
Got it.
Glad to help.
I didn't think there were many independent operators in the system.
Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either.
What do you know about Sublight Salvage?
They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them.
That's all I needed to know about work.
All right.
What can you tell me about Udom Bedford?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
Sounds like a fun guy.
Really likes his cereals, too. Maybe a little too much. Bit of a weird bird, all told.
Don't see what's so wrong about liking cereals. They're fun.
Udom takes it to an, unhealthy level.
Seems like there's some tension between the board and Groundbreaker.
You noticed, huh?
I'm sharp like that.
What can I say? We're passionate folks, and the board can't abide that independent spirit, especially not when it might impact their bottom line. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
Yet your station's in a state of disrepair. You could make the board fix it.
You mean the heat? Sure, we could make them fix it. But what would they do in retaliation? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway.
Thanks for the info.
Sure thing.
See you around.
Be seeing you.
All right. All right, well, there's a workbench. A quest objective requires you to enter a restricted area. If caught inside, you will be shot on sight. Using a disguise will prevent immediate hostilities.
I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that, Graham?
Asshole.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering.
What bounties do you have available?
Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Just 26 hours old. The posting, that is, not the criminal. Allegations include several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcoholic containers, failure to pay docking fees, resisting arrest, and assaulting not one but two officers.
Flying under the influence of illegal substances?
Swerving in the air was more like it. Then he crashed hard into the dock and tumbled out of his ship and fled on foot. Spilled Rizzo's Violet Spectrum vodka all over Officer Hartley. An affront of its own, considering none of us are approved for anything higher than green spectrum.
Assaulting 2 officers?
Kicked one right in the kneecap while he poked the other in the eyes. McRed's lucky we're too backlogged right now to hunt him down ourselves. But if our resources clear up and we catch him before some contractor does, I fully plan to lock him in ISO with them 2 officers he wounded. Thinking he won't like that one bit.
Any leads on where I might find McRed?
Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork.
I'll take the posting.
You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and skip speed to you.
I'll be on my way.
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker security do for you today?
Just getting my bearings. What do you do here?
This is the security desk, sir. If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sanita. I'm not authorized to take incident reports anymore.
Why can't you take incident reports?
I'm not so good at filing. Mix up first name and surname 1, 2, 7 times. Well, folks are liable to start taking your filing privileges away.
See you around.
By the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Suck it. Chew
That's
it.
why I got
You can do it.
my pistol with me.
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time.
I'm looking for Gladys.
Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second unit from the right, depending on which direction you count from.
Do you do business with the promenade merchants?
Of course. Most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic we tend to get. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought.
Phineas sent me. He said you could sell me a nav key to Stellar Bay.
Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
Tell me about this opportunity.
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms...
No qualms here. Let's hear the details.
Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago.
Say no more. Why was Roseway abandoned?
Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around.
Say no more. I'm in.
You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs.
Abandoned outpost, corporate secrets. Got it.
Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done.
What other jobs do you know about?
Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar.
Let me see what you've got for sale.
I found a handsome ceramic mandapillar at a salvage auction last week.
That sounds like a level up. Salvage silver. Corrosion damage. Ooh. Alright, so we're aligned. Drinking sapphire wine, the empty man, and the cleaning machine. Alright. All kinds of stuff.
This is Halcyon
Spacer's Choice vendor.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Tennyson will get the radiators fixed soon. Of course, this heat sure makes a zero-G brew extra refreshing. It's an ale that's good for what ails you. Oh, and it's not the best choice, it's Spacer's Choice. Taste the freedom. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Sometimes I forget.
Let's see what you got for sale.
Have a look.
Are you listening to me, Emfuru? You can't get me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Emfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jesse in the first place.
What's this about your friend?
Let me get one thing straight. Jesse and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors.
Maybe I can look in on Jesse.
Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed.
What seems to be the problem?
I'd like to see Jesse Doyle.
If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told the others. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are paramount, so no, you may not see her.
The records say? Have you actually spoken to her yourself?
She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're implying.
Can I buy supplies from you? You seem well stocked.
Not without dispensation from Chief Junlei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by out here.
How do you mean?
We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources like adequately trained staff. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable. Take care.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service.
What's going on?
I'm expecting our delivery fellow to stop through with medical supplies and service auto mechanicals. Name's Captain Irion. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits.
What do you need mechanicals for?
Surgery mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come by on Groundbreaker.
Why is that?
The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, we can't hire anyone. Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us, and we don't know everything.
I could try to find him.
I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws.
Alright. Man, we got a freaking laundry list of missions now. Let's go drinking sapphire wine. Let's introduce Parvati to Junlei Tennyson.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property. Disperse now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
Oh, real scary. You're really gonna arrest us on our station?
Yeah, this is Chief Junlei's ship. You don't own shit here.
Step back. I'm required by board bylaws to use excessive force.
The Mardettes would space you for trying, you waste of O2 scrubbers.
Yeah, O2 scrubbers.
Look, just get out of here before I tell your captain what you've been getting up to on the clock.
Ah, whatever. We got a date at the Lost Hope anyway.
Is this really what you want to be doing with your life, Marcy? Guarding stairs for that walking mustache Udon fucking Bedford? I gotta get off this detail.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy. Hearty greeting, potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen, a home-style consumable protein dispensary. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion.
The connotations of that. Let's see what you got.
Beginning dispensing sequence. Please unblock all relevant facial protein ingestion tubes.
Okay. Oh, that's true. Groundbreaker Promenade. Ike's Armory.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe it's a bit secondhand, but that's only a testament to its durability. We also have a line of specialized melee weapons, for those times you have to repel boarders but don't want to risk a bullet through the hull.
Let me see what you got. There she is, the plasma cutter. And officer's fine. This force damage. Interesting. The plasma cutter. Standard troop armor. Elite troop armor. Marks and protector.
Now with 12%.
No shells. Isn't there a workbench somewhere?
Send more crunch.
I'm guessing Bell's Shells has long-range weapons.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? Ah, that's how you know your weapon loves you back. I got a full line of weapon modifications I'd be happy to show you.
Let me see what you've got. Revolvers, fast rifles, pistols, grenade launchers, Jedi assault rifle. That is one hell of a rifle.
Waste? I guess they just chuck it down here. Where's it all go? How about I stay up top? You know, keep watch. Okay?
Makes that stuff fair game.
Seem down.
Board patrol nicked a friend of mine. Accused her of piracy.
Shit. She actually do it?
No. One of the cleanest folk I know. She found a hold-up ship and was pulling illegal salvage. One of the big cruisers rolled up on her and claimed she'd done the holding her own self.
What the hell are they gonna do with her?
They already done it. She was sent to the labyrinth on Tartarus. Disruption of intra-colony commerce.
Oh, sick. That's a prison for hard cases. Violent repeaters. Nobody gets out.
I know, man. Don't I know?
Their front looks surprisingly on the up and up.
You reckon we can shop here, or is it all spoke for?
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping, a legitimate business for legitimate consumers. You the one flying the Unreliable?
The name's Captain Hawthorne.
Sure you are. Miss Lily has been expecting you. I'll unlock the door.
So you're a Sublight employee?
Sure am. A few years back they got me started on simple acquisitions. You know those latches they put on cargo bays ain't worth a damn? These days, I stick to HQ and look after Miss Lilia.
I should go.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my office. Saves me the work of hunting you down. Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come.
I'm Captain Hawthorne, the proud owner of the Unreliable.
A little advice. Before you start telling lies, get a feel for who you're talking to. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere.
I didn't kill him.
I didn't ask. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings. But there's a catch.
There is always a catch.
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested?
I don't have a nav key, but can I still take the job?
I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the Rest and Go might have what you need. If there's anything else, be quick about it. Time is bits.
Alright.
Be seeing you. Make sure you aren't followed on your way out.
Bratwurst vendor.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. I've got a fresh ground batch of Spratwurst cooking. They're terra-fried to lock in the juices. How about a grinder's dozen?
See what you got.
Fresh from the grinder, any hour.
That's all you got? Alright.
XF411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that Monarch is
I thought there'd be more machinery. Housed on a sublevel.
acid and sulfur rain are the
All day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though.
anarchists live as one with the animals. Lawless, savage, and unemployed.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors.
PackerMan. Nice place you got here, Chief.
No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting.
I'll do whatever I can to help you keep the peace.
Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through.
Once I get out of Impound, I'm bound for Monarch.
Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
Parvati, you wanted to talk to Junlei. Go ahead.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
No need to be so formal, Parvati.
Force of habit, I guess. Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Parvati, don't be shy about requesting time off if you need to compare notes in person.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry.
Nice job, Parvati.
Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention.
It seems kind of warm in here. What's going on?
Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship.
Why haven't you fixed them yet?
Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner.
Is there no room for compromise?
None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard, will be cooked alive.
You need a contractor to work this out. I'm available for a reasonable rate.
Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays.
But there's a catch, right?
The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now.
You can't get these parts anywhere else?
You must not have been here long. In Halcyon, new parts come by way of interstellar freighters from Earth, and the board monopolizes that kind of trade. That means I'd have to negotiate with the board. I've already given them the shops, the docking fees, and a damn embassy.
Their negotiations sound like a bureaucratic coup.
Damn right. And while I'm captain of the Groundbreaker, it falls to me to preserve this ship's independence.
Have you tried sending anyone else down there to get the parts?
I have. One of my engineers, plus a small security detail. They didn't come back. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on this job. No offense, but a freelancer like you is more dispensable.
Why so protective?
Mardits are descended from the original Marine detachment that crossed the void with Groundbreaker. I don't put their lives on the line if I can avoid it.
I'll get you those parts from the back bays.
Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.
And we'll do that next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, This is the PackerMan signing out. Sorry that there weren't much action in this episode, but you know, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some next time around though, so stay tuned. You better like and subscribe or face the consequences. You have been warned.